Preventing the dyslexia paradox is so much easier, as I'll show you now with Rory. But even if you haven't found me before and your child is older than 7, get in touch. We can change things together. Okay, so Rory is learning the monster sounds. If he knows it, he says it before the sound. If he doesn't, he'll wait, hear the sound, and then repeat the sound. But he's learning all these monster sounds really, really quickly. And this is important because these phonemes are like training wheels. Because he has high risk for dyslexia, he struggles to hear the sounds in words, to segment them, know the order, and to blend them. As you'll see in this video now, so this is the early stages where he's following the monster sounds to say the word. You can see the graphemes are there, and this is the sort of green code level phase with SATPIN. So he's seeing the graphemes that he's going to use a lot within this first stage of your core phonics. But at the same time, we're able to introduce other words that don't have those correspondences, because that part is also really, really important. And that tends to be the bit that is missed because people wait until they can blend the SATPIN graphemes or whatever before they introduce a few high frequency words. And that can actually, it makes sense in that you're trying to make things simple, but it doesn't really help the learning.
Sit.
So he's able to look at the grapheme, the letter that represents the sounds, and the sound value, because the phonemes, the speech sound monsters, are embedded. So he's able to use the sound keyboard to check the sounds. So he's reinforcing that knowledge of these are the sounds, these are the pictures of the sounds. But if I was to have seen him, if this was the first clip I'd ever seen, I would go, he's high risk, because as soon as he goes, he can't blend it into the word sits. It's too much. So we're thinking about phonemic awareness. Can they hear the sounds, blend them, segment them? And the phonological working memory, can they put together more than 2 or 3 sounds? Can they blend them together? Can they hold more than 2 or 3 sounds in their brain and work with them? He can't. So straight away we know this is a high-risk child. So now his mummy is going to reinforce this and blend it for him so he's clear about what the word is.
Sits.
Then sit.
Then sits.
Then sits.
Good boy. Nan. Sit. Sits. Nan sits.
And this is why I train and support parents, because they are there in the moment. You can't book a tutoring session, especially if they're not really young, and expect that at that particular moment that you've booked is when they're going to be wanting to learn. So what you need to do in the early years is pick a time when it's good for the child. They're not distracted with wanting to do something else, or their favourite shows on TV, or something's going on outside or whatever. So this is the great time, but see what she's doing. She's bringing him back to the sentence. She's using her duck hands in front of him. Duck hands are so powerful. Do not underestimate the power of duck hands, because it's multisensory. The hand is moving in the shape of a beak for every speech sound, and then blending. So nan, it sits, using her duck hands. So he's seeing the sounds, hearing the sounds, looking at the graphemes, looking at the sound value, and that is what is changing his brain.
See, she's sitting on the chair. Whoops.
I was trying to
Okay, what's this one?
find a way there's no then.
So what's this one?
Wasn't that brilliant? So he's noticed there's no nan and there's no word nan. And he doesn't just say, finally, there's no nan. Not really sure why, what's wrong with nan. But instead of just saying that, he also plays the sounds for the word on the keyboard. So he is helping himself to develop that phonemic awareness that is the hallmark of dyslexia. So now we've got the word here, here, which may not be how you say it. You might say it with 3 sounds, ear, here, in which case what we're doing already in this early stage is saying the way that it is presented in print might not necessarily be the way that you say it. So right from the very beginning, which is why I say it's really important, you're not just doing that core code, you're not exploring the whole code, because you're not exploring accents. And the way we speak changes. It's different for every child. So he's saying,
ear,
so he didn't blend it.
Yeah, what's this one first?
ear,
So she said here.
here,
Good boy.
That's great. She brought him back to the word, to blending the word. Ear here, even though he says ear here.
Is.
Now look at that. That S,
Is.
she's
Is.
reinforcing that it's a z.
Can you say that again? It
Z.
is.
Because here the S is s. So she is reinforcing is. Now we've got st, atten, 4 sounds.
so.
So even giving the sounds, he can't blend them.
I don't know.
Hang on, let's find the picture.
Now there I would have actually said the word first, Stan. But what she's doing, actually finding the visual prompts to say,
It's just somewhere
look, it's Stan.
Yes.
This visual prompt,
Where is it?
so he can't blend it. So she really needs, oh, so there she is, she's pointing it.
Sorry, my hammer was better than
Stand.
Make sure you're doing it his
Okay,
left to
so
right.
What we got?
So here,
Ear.
is.
Here
Yeah.
is.
he likes the here. But he's also distracting because he's now, it's cognitive overload. It's too
Can you
much.
finish the story? Here is Stan.
A.
Here is Stan.
It is then.
So that's the classic behavior to notice. When you're doing something, they start doing something else. Obviously, that something else can be really important, and often they discover something that could be more important than what you're trying to talk to them about. But here it was because no, brain overload, cognitive overload. I'm going to do this because I'm not really sure. It's too much information. So what Mummy did do is give the whole sentence. Here is Stan. If she'd given it a little bit earlier, so when he couldn't blend st, and together, if she said, oh, it's Stan, let's find Stan. The sentence is, here is Stan. If she'd given him all the information, then when he comes back to it, he wouldn't be experiencing that cognitive stress, if you like. But she's absolutely brilliant. And this is why I train parents, because parents are the best teachers for their child. And if I can teach you to become attuned to your child and what they're telling you, often without words, then you will be the absolute best teacher for them, better than I could be. Or perhaps Kenzie would be the best teacher. So Kenzie's autistic. She was 5 at the time and teaching the children. And I love this. Children love to learn from other children. Good job. Brilliant. So he is following the monster sounds to say the word. and using the visual prompt. And he is totally engaged, and his brain is getting exactly what it needs.
Tip. Pen.
Practicing it on his own. Oh, he did a 4-sound one. Wonderful.
Pin.
So his phonemic awareness, phonological working memory is already so much better. He can see the visual prompt.
Pits.
We added a sound there. He said pits. But he's following the monster sounds to say the word. Now, the Monster Spelling Piano app for tablets is one of the easiest ways for the children to learn this core code. But as you'll see, Rory here has been practicing with the purple code level. He can toggle between playing it with monsters or doing it with the graphemes. So they're learning at their own pace and they're getting the information that works for them at that particular time. That's what's so different about this, is personalized learning. But they want to move through, and that's really exciting. It's really empowering for the children. Please use the app.
Try a different one.
Yep.
Which colour?
What about yellow?
Let's see. A. Where's the A? I forgot where it is.
So in this one,
Yeah.
the A is represented by that.
So here it's the EIGH.
8.
So let's just have a look at what he was looking at. So here is the visual prompt for 8, the word 8. So if they've got haven't got the phonemic awareness, 8. It gives them the sounds anyway. They could, instead of being here, that looks like cognitive overload for a lot of the children, they could just say, no, I just want to take in the sounds first. So 8. So they think, where's monster A? There's monster A. So they would play A, and they would go on here, but they're still going to see the graphemes. But Rory, bless his heart, was on here. So when he said, oh no, I'm not sure which one it is, his mummy says it's this one, EIGH. So she didn't actually use the letter names. There's a certain point where we start using letter names as labels. So like, for example, if the child says, I don't know which one it is, you can say, oh, it's the EIGH. That's a label. But for a child who's high risk, we have to be very careful when we start introducing letter names, so it's not confusing between the sound value they represent. But I talk you through all of that as we, work through their learning journey when you do training with me. So we've got, so he clicked A, and then he had to think, right, well, we've got A. So which is the representation, the pitch of the sound for the T just here? 8. 4 letters. 8. So think if you do the traditional route of what people tend to do, which is fine for a lot of children, but the children who are high risk, if you show a child, right, here are a whole load of squiggles, and actually they've got to figure out that in this word, all 4 of those letters together represent the sound A, and then we've got the it's so difficult for children, isn't it? And that's why people tend to resort to teaching words like this as high frequency, as sight words, and they teach them by memory, or they have tricks or whatever. It's just so time consuming. Instead, if a child came to that and didn't know what the word was, to say, oh, it's the word 8. 8. Shall I just show you? And then you can also use that on the app, this on the app, by going to the writing. So let's just find 8. There we go. So here's the word 8. 8. The sounds. Show the word, and then we'd say, look, here, all of that is the picture for the sound A, and just that one is the A, t, 8. Can you have a go? A, t, 8. 8. So we're practicing writing it as well as spelling it. Please do use the app. It's absolutely brilliant. So Rory could check A. That's the new one for him, because we were saying, what's new for you? And there's the T in 8. And we also have, if you see some lips, that means that when we say the word, it's a different sound at the beginning, the end. Like I, it's different than the beginning at the end, isn't it? So look at his face. So even if they play with the monsters, toggle to the monsters, they still see the graphemes. Look. So Mummy just steps in when is needed.
You have a go.
And knows when to say, come on, you can do it.
Good job.
And he did. Absolutely flipping brilliant. Amazing. Absolutely brilliant. That's why I do this. Because he knows the monsters, we can create resources around whatever they're interested in.
1, 2, 3. With Pepper.
So he's interested in this. It's a book.
1.
He's understanding how it works. It's mapped,
I.
so he can follow the monster sounds to say the word.
Oh. Dinosaur.
Good job.
Wow. So he wouldn't be looking at the word dinosaur with just your core code, would he?
Great.
His
Rory.
phonemic awareness here is just now brilliant, and that's the key.
Chickens. 4 butts. 5 plus on it.
Follow the sounds.
Hats.
Tell me which sounds are on there.
6
Use your duck hands. At.
hats.
Oh, he blended it. Brilliant.
6 p x pencils.
Good job.
Amazing. So he's out of the danger zone now. He is following the monster sounds. His working memory now. Remember, a few weeks before this, he couldn't blend together 4 sounds. Now he just did presents, presents, and dinosaurs. This is incredible. So he now has the phonemic awareness, the phonological working memory. He's able to look at a word if he doesn't know the graphemes, because we're also teaching the graphemes in the core code. But when he looks at the word, he can figure it out by following the monster sound, say the word, and then look at the graphemes. And that's really important in an opaque orthography, where the graphemes represent lots of different sounds, and sounds can be represented by lots of different graphemes. So when they're just doing the core code, as in their normal sort of phonics, right, we'll build up a few of these graphemes, or they're never going to get there. Some children are, because they'll kickstart and they'll start self-teaching and they teach it themselves. But if those at-risk children are just relying on explicit instruction of just the core code, they are in trouble.
7 E
What's that one?
Ow.
Ooh, ow.
Flowers. 7 flowers.
Wow.
8 ducks.
Good job.
They're still going to do a bit of guessing,
9.
but that's great because if they can figure out what the word
Funny
is,
sounds.
Cakes.
so Mummy will keep reinforcing.
10.
If you're not sure, follow the monster sounds. Say the word.
Can you c l count from 1 to 10? Let's go back in.
Let's go back and
Count again.
well
That's
done.
incredible.
And the race starts. Adam plays ahead. Ricky can see Adam reading the race. Ricky wants to catch up, but the track is crowded. He cannot get past the other bus.
And this, of course, is not coded. He's just reading.
Ricky rides up the steep hill. It is hard work, but he has trained for this. All riders are huffing.
Oh,
The riders are huffing and puffing, and many slow down. Ricky rides past them.
Wow. Well done, Rory. Well done, Mummy. Well done, family. Well done, us. So join me for training on Speedy Readies. The focus is word mapping mastery because everything else then falls into place. Phonemic awareness, phonological working memory, we're bonding those speech sounds with the graphemes, with the spelling and the meaning, and we're doing it through books. We're doing it through meaningful context. It's a dual route learning system. We've got the core code, which you see, phonics systematically, but the really important thing is that second path where we're exploring the whole code. And we're doing this within books. The phonemes are like training wheels, so they use them as long as they need to. The first 52 books are mapped. They can see the sound value, the graphemes, and the books mean it's all coming together with meaning. By book 52, they really don't need the phonemes anymore, and they don't need to see which letters are the graphemes because they are in the self-teaching phase. And that's what I'm going to teach you to do. 2 paths. At the moment, the training you're getting anywhere else just goes through the first path, the core phonics code. We need to have both. It brings it all together, and this really, really matters for children who are the highest risk children at high risk for dyslexia. So we are preventing the dyslexia paradox, and it's very exciting because it's changing lives. Rory will never know what it's like to have difficulties with reading and spelling. Without this, he would have been diagnosed with dyslexia the same as his brother. He's got a family history of it. And his brother, who his parents found me, this is why they started doing this with Rory, they found me because their son was really struggling with dyslexia. He started doing my stuff, and when he went into secondary school, they said, we actually don't think this child is dyslexic. Something to think about.